Welcome into another episode of Sports Gambling with Moneyline Monaco. Alex Monaco fired up to be with you. Another NBA playoff round one betting takeaway podcast. We come at you fresh off a 1-1 Lakers Timberwolves series, and we were all over it. And a beautiful bounce back game it was. And the intensity and the effort and the accountability, let's call it what it is, for JJ Redick, top to bottom on his staff from a coaching POV and from an all-out player's perspective. And the first thing that jumped out to me was an unbelievable first quarter effort. I mean, I screenshotted it. I couldn't possibly believe it. Through almost the entire first quarter, 3 for 10, Minnesota in the first quarter. 3 for 10. Now, game went well under, ends 94-85, well under. Defensive intensity on both sides. Now, this kind of Lakers effort gives you a different view of the painting of this team and the longevity of where they could go in this entire NBA playoffs in the West, which I don't want to call it wide open. It's disrespectful to the Thunder, but I've never been a Thunder guy here in this series, in this season, for them to just cakewalk, all the way through. So a team like the Lakers to show up and show out like they did. And look, series betting lines, interesting because I had talked with you a couple pods ago, coming off the Knicks game 2, kind of betting 2 cents. I liked the Clippers. I liked the Lakers to win this series both in 6. Obviously, going to be a tall order for 6. Clips could still maybe do it because they're heading back home, but Lakers in 7 seems a lot more appropriate. However, line movement-wise, Lakers were around like plus 114 before the win. They're only minus 108. This is a complete coin flip. At least me shouting out FanDuel. So, from an eye test perspective, a really gross game. I mean, Naz Reid, Dante, McDaniels, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, none of these guys broke double-digit in points from a Timberwolves perspective. It was like a bad game from role players for many times several all at once. And that just doesn't happen that often, especially this was a house money game for Minnesota. The thing that bothers Knicks fans, I'm just jumping around here, but given an observation that's prevalent, is they got to all of a sudden go all out, but they got to wait till they're down. And there was a little bit, and I'm not saying there's merit to that. That's just the observation. And there's a little bit of that with this Lakers team because the intensity and the defensive effort. And you even saw the clip of JJ Redick dropping Jesus's line, let's just say not in Easter Sunday fashion. I'll leave it there. Underprepared, unacceptable. Underwhelming, lack of effort, not going to fly. And that set by the head coach, whereas you're watching Doc Rivers, I'm not too worried about it. Like Kruger, Costanza's boss, that just never was really too worried about anything. And then they're bankrupt. And you're not getting that from Redick. So from a Lakers perspective, the defense was there. I mean, that goes without saying. The rebounding was there. They won the rebounding battle 41-34. They didn't miss a free throw. They were 20 of 20, not really a whistle that stuck out, unlike that Knicks game too at all in that one. Just a really well-officiated game, 20 for 25 for the Timberwolves. But this was a game where 11 three-pointers were made by both teams combined. So nobody really shot that well. I was on Luka Ice Cube triple-double. Don't talk to me about it. An all-time interview jinx brought up going into the fourth quarter, and he stays with 9 dimes, and that's just something you often don't do. If you are in that world, you don't speak on something that hasn't happened in the middle of the game. I digress. But you get 31 from Luka, 21 from James, 16 from Reeves, 11 from Rui. And if Finney's going to give you 7 and Gabe Vincent's going to give you 6, look, that might be what we're looking at here. I mean, the big 3 in Luka LeBron Reeves has got to give you at least 60 in some way, shape, or form. Ideally, in the 70s. But they're going to need a Dorian Finney-Smith, a Rui. It seems like Jackson Hayes in this series, again, didn't scratch double-digit minutes, is not going to be that prevalent. They don't trust him. It's a bummer because they need size in this Minnesota series. There is so much length on this Minnesota offense when they're coming down, and then on defense with the length crashing the boards. But you saw only 7 Lakers score, and that's typical, you would say. But, Vandy got 7 minutes. Goodwin got 6 minutes. But the rebounding effort was big, and the defense was big. And I think this formula against Minnesota, the thing with Minnesota is Anthony Edwards. Now, he hit 25 points, 22 in game 1, but he hasn't broken 30 points in 5 dances this year against the Lakers. He has not scored against this club over 30 once. So then you ask on the other side, Mike Conley doesn't score the basketball anymore. Had some gift-wrapped 3-point shots and bricked them. He had a goose egg last night. And so for this team on a Minnesota side, who looked like they were, oh my gosh, are they going to do it again? Are they going to be above their pay grade again? This playoff run? And then you take a step back and you think to yourself, all right, Julius Randle getting 27 in an L. Where have I seen this before? And Julius Randle with 6 assists, when they started getting back into the game and a little bit of momentum there in the second half, he was diming. He was diming. And I didn't see the dimes in the same exact way. Game 1, ironically, across the board with the Lakers from an assist perspective, and then you go to the losing team again in game 2, and it's a similar notion. But taking a look at the betting, 108, pick a side, any side, and we take a look at game 3, looking ahead. It's a 3-point underdog line. Lakers getting 3 on the road, totals at 206.5. And we got to remember Minnesota's a quality team at home. They're a tough out. But if we're just doing bounce-back performances, role players got to be the first guys. And Naz Reid going 1 for 3 from three-point land, little bit rare. And bear in mind, he had 6 3-pointers in game 1. Naz Reid can take over a game. This is a 6-man of the year candidate. We all know what he was last year. So I think this game comes down to which additional role players for which teams are going to make a tough shot. And right now, you probably want to lean Minnesota in game 3 on a bounce back. But you do have to say out loud, there's 3 games in Minnesota left. There's 2 games in LA left. And the Lakers have to win 1. So Minnesota did their job splitting. The Lakers got to get 1. I just think this bounce back game 3, we're gonna really see what this Lakers team is about, because not only are they going off against a team off a loss, they have to deal with this crap. And Minnesota Wild are in the playoffs, baby. I mean, it's hockey season over there as well. But just wanted to throw out some takeaways. Just watching the game. Very interesting. Very interesting. What happens to teams with talent when they try hard? Because this Lakers team doesn't win 94, 85 games very often, but full team effort, full accountability, everybody locked in, both sides of the ball, coach implementing changes and a game plan, and they get a very nice win. And that has to feel good for Lakers Nation. And just taking a step back here on the overall scope in the West, it's OKC at minus 165. It's the Warriors at plus 650. It's the Lakers, third still at 850, and the Clippers at 10-1, followed by Mini at 12-1, and the Nuggets at 24-1. Boy, is there value on Denver if you think they can run the table. We're sticking to Lakers Knicks, babes. It's going to get ugly. We're probably going down swinging. But game 3, off some props out. I was on Giannis, Luka triple-double. Giannis missed it by 3 dimes. Luka missed it by 1. The cap was there. The thought was there. And we got ourselves a playoffs. Lot of value. Lot to talk out. But just a quick little preview of what this Lakers team could be. And from a betting lens, this team off a loss, similar to what the New York Knicks are going to do in game 3, my humble opinion, we're in good shape here if you're a Lakers fan or a Lakers backer. Don't forget to hug your mothers. Little quick recap game 3. How you doing? And as always, well, I do want to say I like that Memphis didn't just lie down, and I can't believe Doc's not worried. You're down 2-0. But I did watch those games as well. And I think the Bucks come out, get one in game 3. I wanted to believe in Milwaukee. I wanted to. The defense is a lethargic. We're wasting Giannis's prime at this point. And the Dame part 2 is nothing short of sad. I mean, at this point, don't forget to hug your mothers. Ta-ta real smooth.